Hey guys, how's it going? Today we're going to be looking at some of your front yards for inspiration. I'm really looking forward to this because, as many of you who have been watching our videos know, we redid our front lawn area, which created some giant new flower beds that I need to fill. So I'm looking forward to seeing what creative ideas you guys have come up with. And the last one we put together was garden before and afters, and that was incredibly inspiring and motivating to me. So I think we should just jump right in. First submission was from Sucheta in Charlotte, North Carolina, Zone 7B. And it does look like you included a before shot too. So this is the before. Beautiful home. I mean, I love multiple roof lines like that. That's really pretty and beautiful color too. And the flower bed looks fine. I mean, it's full of plants. It looks like some different things in there, but let's see what it looks like after you said you redid it in 2021. Oh my goodness. First of all, you added color. Doesn't that just look so much more interesting? The addition of color and the retaining wall. That was such a good choice because that added so much definition to your flower bed around both the tree well and the flower bed area right there. Oh, it almost kind of like lifts your house up. Does that make sense? Am I crazy? But it like kind of holds your house up and frames it. It's beautiful. So 2021, I went crazy with a lot of annuals from proven winners. So super Petunias, super bells and hanging baskets, banana cream daisies, yellow roses. We have set up drip to the bed, and we used to run every day for 20 minutes in hot part of the summer. Oh, so beautiful. Your layering is on point. You do everything like perfectly well from, you know, the short in the front, and it just graduates up to the back. And I like the little shepherd's hooks with the hanging baskets. That's a really good idea. If you don't want to put like something taller that's more permanent toward the back, just pop a shepherd's hook with a hanging basket in there. It's a great thing. That looks beautiful. Great job. Next one is from Vicky in Louisville, Zone 6B. Is it Louisville or Louisville? Louisville. I feel like if I say both of them, I'm safe. Zone 6B. Oh, look at that. I love the formal flair to your space right there. And I am struggling with my own space, trying to decide if I want to take it more relaxed or if I want a very formal, structured feel. And I feel like you kind of have both here. Like you've really married it beautifully. I love the red bud tree at the corner of your house by the chimney. That is so pretty. Did you say what kind it is? No, dang it. It's got beautiful, bright colored new growth, it looks like. So it gives that tree a glow quality, and I like all the different shades of green. So you've got like the bright chartreuse on the red bud. Right below it you've got daylilies or something like that, something grassy textured. Then you've got your tighter hedges, and then the darker green evergreens, and your grass is beautiful too. Boy. Okay. Oh, side view, maybe later on in the season. Yeah, later on. So the green shrubs beneath the windows are hydrangeas. Boy, those have filled in and they're beautiful. I can see that it is very much so later in the season because the hydrangeas are starting to color up more pink. And the Vertigo pennisetum, doesn't that add some drama? That's that dark colored grass right there. In a Zone 6, I think that grass is still an annual where you are. I love it. The next one is from Laura in Chester County, Pennsylvania, Zone 6B. And I have kind of followed Laura's garden journey just through pictures that I see posted. This is a gorgeous garden, you guys, and there is a before picture. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so a little bit of background on this, Laura included. We moved into our 230-year-old stone house, 230 years old, in July of 2018. The landscape was so overgrown that you could barely see the house. I can see that. Those shrubs are huge. The first summer was spent removing unhealthy and overgrown for location plants, the original boxwoods included. They were nearly 6 foot tall and encroaching on the walkway so that you had to turn sideways to get to the sunroom door from the garage. I tried to rejuvenation prune, had no idea what I was doing. I knew nothing about gardening until I found your channel. Well, okay, we got to take a look at this next picture here because you absolutely know what you're doing. Look at the transformation. This is the same angle. Look at the pathway, the beautiful mulch, the beautiful boxwoods. Dang, I just love your space so much, and your home is absolutely beautiful as well. And then of course, like I always notice backdrop trees. When you are in an area that has all the shade and the big backdrop of beautiful green trees, it just kind of makes me look around like, We live in the desert, so it's very different, and this is just so beautiful. Okay, back to this. So later she hired a company to rip them out and grind their stumps. That is like the #1 best thing you can do, is hire a professional to do those really heavy jobs if you can. You know, they do it so quickly. And it saves a lot of frustration. The stump grinding unfortunately ground too many of the roots of the large maple and killed it. With a clean slate, I started building back. October 2019, I planted 62 sprinter boxwoods. So we can see here a picture when the boxwoods were just sitting there, kind of lining that pathway up to the house. So before planting, it's always a good idea to line things up like that. But look at the backdrop, you guys. Look like back behind the house, beyond the house. Look at all the color and the layers in the garden and the arbor. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Hubby made fun of me because I kissed each one as I planted it and said, please grow. Of course it helps that I had all the trim painted white, and we lifted and relaid the brick walkways. Nearly every annual perennial shrub and tree was planted because of you. You are just the sweetest, and that is just, I would just love to walk down that pathway. Just stroll around in your garden. Oh, there's an overhead, you guys. Okay, so there's a swimming pool on the back part of the house. I love the fencing. I would love to walk through the garden and then just take a walk down the street there. It looks so green and lush. I love it. Something about seeing boxwoods lined up in an overhead shot. It's satisfying to me. The next one is from Renee in Memphis, Tennessee, Zone 7B. Look at this. Look at all the caladiums. Okay, she says, for the past several years, I've done a big spring bulb display, and now my neighbors affectionately call our house the Daffodil House and call me the Flower Lady. That is a good thing to be known by. Similarly, every summer I do a big caladium display. Our front yard is primarily shade and part shade, but there are a few areas that have full sun. The bulbs don't seem to mind either way. There are a lot of perennials and shrubs that come into flower after the spring bulbs are done, including pollinator garden, peonies, azaleas, hydrangeas. We are blessed with lots of rain and humidity, which keeps the caladiums happy through the summer. Look at those. The mascari are those angelique tulips, and then there are a bunch of daffodils and bright pink tulips, like lipstick pink is what I always think of. The beautiful, is that a Japanese maple in the background with the red leaves coming out, and the topiaries? The mature trees, the beautiful grass. It does look like you get a lot of rain and humidity. Yep. Absolutely gorgeous. Next one is from Maggie in Ontario, Canada, Zone 5. Let's take a look here. Oh my, look at that. So this picture was taken late spring, it looks like, because the creeping phlox up there, absolutely beautiful. The brunnera is in bloom, which is right next to that mugo pine. There are alliums in there. The iris are they're budded. They're about ready to burst open. There are violas in there. Sweet woodruff is in bloom, which is the ground cover thing kind of by the violas in the red pot with the little white blooms. The ferns are beautiful. I see dicentra in there, the pink bloom by the hosta underneath the tree. Whoa, whoa, that is beautiful. Oh my goodness. There's flagstones that go through the flower beds. That's so handy to have, isn't it? So you have access to get in there without stepping on anything, so you can maintain plants and things like that. But I do see some sedum there, heuchera, hardy geraniums. Oh my goodness, there's beautiful fern. You see to the left there, it's almost cut off, but I can see that. It's like a ghost fern. The hostas are beautiful. This one looks like it's taken maybe a little later when there's purple iris blooming. So they're blooming in that picture. I don't think they were blooming in the first picture, right? Oh my gosh, so I'm thinking you have shade. Let's read up. Our front garden is dominated by a 40-year-old crabapple tree. Look at that beautiful crabapple tree in full bloom. It's beautiful in the late spring when it flowers. Under the canopy, the plants are shade-loving perennials, including a variety of hostas, ferns, and ground covers. Around the edges and the boulevard garden are partly sunny, so the plants are full or part sun varieties, including iris, echinacea, perennial geraniums, daylilies, heleniums, black-eyed Susans, sedums, and phlox. Eye water is needed in the summer, which is usually twice a week, unless we've had a lot of rain. Oh, look at it in autumn. Look at your neighbor's tree. Oh my goodness, that is a beautiful borrowed view right there. Plus the structure of the trunk of your tree. Oh my goodness. The variegated sedum there is phenomenal. That's that little perennial there on the left kind of bottom. So it's got kind of like the russet, mauve-y pink blooms with the green and white variegated leaves. Wow. Beautiful, Maggie. Next one is from Marta in Indiana, Zone 5B. And let me just say that I love to see gardens that are terraced like this, that are on a slope, because you really get to see the whole space. Instead of, you know, just you've got a flatter space. I don't know, sometimes you've got things that block other views, but it's so fun to see all the different layers here all at once. I love your porch. I love all the color. Absolutely beautiful. So Marta said, we built on a steep, wooded, rocky hill with very poor soil. In the past 21 years, I have amended with loads of compost. Every boulder and rock you see came from the property. I love that. And that's the thing. So, you know, we have flat as a pancake property here, and we've often been asked, why don't you bring in rocks? Why don't you make berms? But that's not natural to the terrain around us, and I don't like to create things that don't look like they belong naturally. I know that there are some people who can do that wonderfully well. I don't feel like I am one of them. So ours remains flat. That's why I always love to see when people utilize what's on their property and really work with it. That's amazing. We used the giant ones to terrace the hill so we could garden and mow. I started out in all shade, and slowly the trees have died and I've had to adjust. We have pretty regular rain here in Indiana, but I water annuals every day that it doesn't rain. I love peonies. I have over 100. Can you imagine when those are all in bloom, just walking through and smelling the smell? I love heucheras, hosta, Japanese maple, and there are tons of perennials that bloom at different times during the growing season. We are moving this year to downsize. What? Oh, that would be hard. We are moving this year to downsize, and I pray I find somebody to buy the house who loves to garden. I do too for you. Next is from Marilyn in New Brunswick, Canada, Zone 4B. So this house right here, which I love the color of, and I love the bank of trees back there behind you, was a new build in 2018, and your garden looks much older than that. You've done an amazing job. My goodness. So in a subdivision that has many trees on a 1 acre lot. That's amazing. Wonderful sized lot. My garden is still very young, but the flower bed along the front was first planted, so it's starting to show well. Our house is facing east, so the front has sun all morning until 1 p.m. See if there's a closer up picture. I'm so glad that you guys submitted some great ones. I was kind of hoping that we would see like backed up shots so we could really see your home and see the aesthetic of your whole kind of setup. Oh my goodness. Okay, I love your stairs. Those are really warm and inviting, and I love the fact that you mirrored the color with your window box. That's perfection right there to me. You've got beautiful hydrangeas up there, hosta. There's a rose there on the left. I like the colors you chose for your window box. Okay, so on the front, I have planted 6 boba hydrangeas under the window boxes. These are getting a bit taller than I expected. I didn't want to hide the flower boxes, so I need to make sure to trim them hard in the spring. I also have 2 Incredible blush hydrangeas. I wondered what those were. You see that to the right of the stairs? Oh, my goodness. Okay, now I lost my place. Where am I at? Okay, 2 Incredible blush hydrangeas on each side of the front porch, which are doing amazing. In this flower bed, there are also 2 Liberty hostas, 1 Ivory Halo dogwood, 2 Spilt Wine Weigelas, 1 Blue Meringue dark purple lilac, a Black Lace elderberry still small. Ours, where is yours? I gotta look real close. Ours get massive. I don't know if you have seen any of like the tours late in the season when we have shown how big ours get. Is it in the corner there by your meter? I can't tell. That might be a Weigela. Ours get like 10 to 12 feet tall and 10 to 12 feet wide. They're huge. Beautiful, huge. A campfire rose, some proven winners, light blue salvia, lavender, nepeta, a few boxwoods, Carl Forster grasses, a fragrant bouquet hosta, and more. I also have many annuals, which I grow mostly from seed to reduce the cost, as I prefer to invest in more permanent plants for now, which I totally understand. It's a beautiful side shot. I love seeing like the little tree canopy on the right. But boy, the colors are beautiful. The layering's beautiful. I love it. Oh my word. This next one is from Marissa in Newtown, Connecticut, Zone 6B. Whoa. Okay, the house, first of all, holy moly. That's pretty. I love the garden, perfectly reflects the home. It's all very formal. I like formal quite a lot, so it speaks to me. I really think that's beautiful. I love the paver patio kind of area, and the fountain, of course, is gorgeous. Okay, so Marissa says the front yard was designed and planted 18 years ago. It's predominantly boxwoods with some hollies, hydrangeas under the windows, 2 Japanese dwarf maples, and 2 white birch trees. Full sun from 10 a.m. until sunset. That's a lot of sun. No water now that the plants are established. No water. I can't even imagine living in a place where I didn't ever have to water things. Oh, jealous. Oh my goodness, now look at this overhead. Isn't that pretty? You get kind of a better idea of the scale and the kind of scope of the whole place. I love the birch trees. They mirror your shutter color beautifully. Oh, and you included a winter shot. Isn't that pretty? Oh, that's really fun. Boy, you guys all have such different and unique and beautiful spaces. It's just so fun. We're getting such an assortment. Next one is from Ashley in Greenwood Lake, New York, Zone 6B. And this is so charming. This is the sweetest garden. I love the hydrangeas. Love them. I love the curves of your flower beds. I love the window boxes. And I'm wondering how you take care of those window boxes up top, because I've always loved that look, and I always wonder how people manage that. But that draws so much interest and color up, like it makes your eye move upward, and I love that. Ashley says, we garden in New York Zone 6B, about 45 minutes north of New York City. After buying our first home, we decided we needed to tackle our curb appeal. So let's see. I saw there was another picture. Let's see if there's a before. Oh, there it is. There's a before shot. That's an incredible transformation. Wow. Oh, I'm so glad you got that house and did what you did to it. So pretty. After searching YouTube for some advice, we stumbled upon Garden Answer, and our lives immediately changed. Not only did we transform our home and find a hobby that completes us, we also learned about growing our own food, which has become a way of life. We can't thank you enough. Oh, that's amazing, 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 Ashley. I love it. Next is from Celia in Pasadena, Maryland, Zone 7B. And I have to tell you guys, I have serious porch envy. We've seen some beautiful porches today. I love that look. This one, a beautiful lawn. I see hanging ferns. Let's take a look at the next picture. Oh, so this is an after. Let's go back. Before, no flower beds along the walkway. After, flower beds with lavender. Oh, good change. That is beautiful. Oh, there's a side view. Are those begonias? What are those? Those are huge and colorful. Love all the big trees. Love your kitty there on the driveway. Okay, so Celia said, 4-year process of bringing color and interest to our shaded front yard on a shoestring budget and simply as a mental health hobby. Isn't it though? It's just so good to be outside working in the garden. This yard is a work in progress and absolutely my happy place. Been inspired by your channel for over 6 years and always appreciate your content. Thank you. Sunshine, Ligustrum, I never know how to say that word. Anyway, and lavender struggle, but love the color. Hostas, heuchera, azalea, hellebore, Japanese maple, fern, bleeding hearts, goat's beard, which is a runcus, right? And columbine are perennials. Impatiens, lemon coral, sedum, sweet potato vine, caladium, and begonia are my annuals. I made your pallet walkway on the other side of the drive. Is there a picture? Oh, nope, there's no picture, dang. And slowly turning that pile of brush into a soothing shade garden. I water by hand, sprinkler, and soaker hoses. We get so much rain throughout the season that watering isn't challenging. And for that, I'm water envy, rain envy. Next is Shirley and Andrea from New York, Zone 5B. Oh my goodness. Oh, I love pictures taken in the fall with the pumpkins on the porch steps. Oh, okay, so lots of color, lots of potted items. Really nice lawn there. I love the lighting and lots of color and texture. So the red spiked Dracaena in the planter to the left of the stairs. I can't tell exactly. Are there more pictures? Oh, there are more pictures. Let's take some close-up looks. Look at that planter. It's got mums and coleus and vinca, maybe. There's a hydrangea next to the step there on the left. Potted mums there in that kind of corner flower bed. A huge hosta. I love the obelisk with the clematis, and it's super petunia limoncello, and then a black petunia, which are super fun. About 10 years ago, we planted arborvitae trees to line the front path to the house, as well as 2 honeysuckle bushes that we trained up an arbor that is right next to the road. As you can see, the arborvitae and honeysuckle became too overgrown and it became hard to keep with pruning. Okay, so there's the honeysuckle, and just beyond the arborvitae, I cannot believe that's the same space. Oh, a night picture. Gotta take a look at that. Look at the lighting in action. Whoa, look at the stuff in your planters. Okay, first off, you have a double obelisk, but you put a cocoa fiber liner in the upper level. I could do that with mine. What a good idea. And a little string of lights up there, but underneath you've got beautiful mums and cabbage. It's amazing how much they glow with that light. Gorgeous job. Okay, this is gonna be a good before and after because all I can see is the before picture right now. This is from James in Michigan, Zone 5B. So, a new house. In 2018, we bought and remodeled our house. Let's look for an after. Oh, whoa. Okay, I want to go back to the before. Before, after. Before, after. Dang, that is so pretty. Look at the Russian sage and the heuchera. It looks like black pearl, looks like lemon coral sedum in between, mirrored in with the colors that are in the containers on either side of your columns there. So it looks like you've got the same plum color, maybe a super petunia honey and a lime thyme or some type of lime or chartreuse coleus. Whoa, that's gorgeous. Oh, and here's a picture in the springtime. Slightly different angle, but you just went to town with the daffodils, which is what we did last year, and I'm so looking forward to seeing them again this year. Now, oh, and there it is in the autumn. Oh, looks like a little bit of a palette walkway going on there. I love that. Echinacea sedum, so much interest in this picture. Rudbeckia there underneath the window on the left, and there's a miscanthus to the right of it, a grass with beautiful plumes there, blooms. Okay, so James said, I stumbled across your YouTube channel in 2016 when you moved into your new house, and I've been hooked ever since. From watching your inspirational videos, I wanted to garden interest for all seasons. I feel like you are doing such an amazing job of it, and I am lacking that in so many of our flower beds right now. That's super inspiring to see. To have spring interest over a 2-year period, I've planted over 700 daffodil bulbs. The summer picture shows black pearl heuchera, lemon coral sedum lining the sidewalk with Russian sage in the background, which is hiding a newly planted lemony lace elderberry, which I love. 2 yellow rose bushes flank the porch entrance along with a mix of annuals in the containers I built. The 2 fall pictures show on the corner of the house a gingerwine 9-bark, and I believe it's a prairie winds grass in the middle. Other plants are autumn fire sedum, hibiscus, coneflowers, elephant ear, and mum. I love the trellis there. That's a really good idea because a lot of times in those new houses, you got kind of like that swoop flower bed that's on the other side of a walkway. And that's a great way to add interest to the side of a garage, which are usually long and usually don't have windows. I really like that. Great job, James. Oh, this is an interesting home. Submitted by Rosa in Massachusetts, Zone 6. Isn't that interesting? It has like a church vibe. Okay, a view going back down the other way. So there's a hydrangea, euonymus. You can see the lambs here really well, pink mums, and then you can see a display over across the way with some big containers. Oh my goodness. Oh, look along the road there. There's some sunflowers and sedum and Russian sage, maybe a 9-bark there. Oh, and that's a before shot, you guys. Before and after. Wow, that is quite a transformation. I love it. I would love to know the history of your home. I always find that so interesting. Oh, this is from Vicky in North Yorkshire, England, Zone 7. Look at the grass pathways and the abundant flower beds. You guys, this is exactly how I want our south garden to feel when we're done. Of course, the walkways, the grass walkways will be like twice as wide, maybe twice, maybe 3 times as wide so we can get the gator around. But that's how I want the flower beds to feel, like just full and lush. However, Vicky says, my area has around 30 inches of rain a year. Sorry, Laura. Yes, definite rain envy. It is a lot harder to attain this look here in high desert, but we are going to attempt it. We may not be able to use all the same types of plants. We'll use things that maybe get a little bit bigger, don't require as much water, but hopefully we'll get close. That is just absolutely gorgeous. Okay. Oh, here's another view, like looking up toward the house. And you can see lupins and hardy geranium and salvia, peonies, a lot of grasses. There's some lavender in there. Oh, and sharp edges on your grass walkways. That was one thing, because you know, Aaron really wanted grass walkways, and I love the way they look, but I know what kind of maintenance they are for us here in terms of irrigation and edging and all of that. And I like our grass to be cut all the time. Like, I like it to look like yours 100% of the time, because I feel like when the grass starts to look overgrown, it kind of gives everything else an overgrown feel to me. So we had to like kind of have conversation where I said, we can try. Like, I am more than happy to try the grass out. And he said, I will make sure it's always edged, it's always mowed. So we just had to have that conversation about, I don't know, pros and cons and what it might mean for maintenance and everything. But I love the sharp edges. So Vicky says, my front garden is north facing, so all photos are usually taken in the morning. There were a row of conifers next to the street and just grass, so I started from scratch. The trees were removed and a dry stone wall built to enclose the garden. I removed all the grass except for some of the grass paths to create 4 large flower beds. Each year the paths seem to get narrower as I try to cram in more plants. I rarely water it. So you get 30 inches of rain. Our average is 9. I just love plants, so filled my garden with every type I like to make a cottage garden. There are a lot of roses, alliums, peonies, hydrangeas, catmint, lupins, clematis, salvia, and hardy geraniums. Poppies self-seed, so appear anywhere, but the bees and butterflies seem to love it, which is so important to me. Well, it's just so beautiful, Vicky. If I would have known about your garden when I was over there in your neck of the woods, I would have been knocking at your front door. And the last one we're gonna look at today is from Pat in Tennessee, Zone 7A. And what a beautiful home you have. I love the dormers, the brick. It's very beautiful. The chimney. I would love to see what the inside of your house looks like too. Oh, I love how homes that look like this. Okay, so we built our house and put in the yard 43 years ago. There have been many changes since then, but several trees and shrubs are the original plantings. Part of the yard gets full sun, but closer to the house gets afternoon shade. The beds are a mix of shrubs, perennials, and annuals. The annuals change every year for variety and to feed my need for new and different plants. I do all the planting and maintenance myself, and I am in my mid-70s. Great job. Okay, so here we'll take a closer look at one of the flower beds with a bench, beautiful blue pots there. That's kind of a view looking out toward the street, it looks like. A side view of the house, beautiful beds, just abundant and full. I love that look. Pat, I love it. It's absolutely beautiful. Can't believe you do all the maintenance yourself. You did an amazing job. And that is it, you guys, for front yards. Thank you so much to all of you who sent out pictures and sent all the information. I know that takes time. It takes sometimes a lot of time to find the pictures that you want to send and to organize that. So I recognize how much effort goes into actually sending that over to us. So I really do appreciate it. It is probably part 1. We'll probably do a part 2. Did I already say that? I can't remember if I already said that, but anyway, we'll probably do a part 2. The next one, though, that I would like to start working on are ponds. I would like to see what kind of ponds or pondless kind of waterfall, any kind of like water situation like that you've put in your yard. I would love to know kind of about the process and any kind of tips or tricks or anything you've learned to make it an easy process to take care of the water and all of that. Yeah, so let's do ponds next. We will put a link in the description of this video to the form where you can submit your pond pictures and information. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. Beautiful spaces. We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.